Hey, this is Will. So in this video, I'm going to tell you how you can create digital products step by step. I'm going to tell you what are the main principles, how you can make your products stand out, what is a way to create your products so you generate more revenue from them, how you can outsource this whole process. I'll give you some examples and some very useful tips throughout the video, so make sure to watch the whole video. There's going to be a ton of value. Now let's jump into it. Alright, so the first thing that you need to really decide what your product is going to be is figuring out what's the biggest problem within your niche. And I made another video where I explained how exactly to find the perfect niche. I will link that, watch that video. But once you have figured out your niche, you need to find the biggest problem out there that audience is facing. And basically, you are going to create a solution. So just to give you a simple example of this, let's say that you are in the niche of keto dieting. For a lot of people, it's not having a concrete plan. So not knowing when to eat, what to eat, what are all of the different nutritional factors that they need to consider, how many fats you need to have, how much protein you need to consume, the calories, all that kind of stuff. So your solution for this, if you know that the planning is the biggest problem, the solution can be 30-day plan. So this basically gets rid, overcomes that obstacle, that problem, and you can make it a little bit more interesting as well. So you could do something like 30-day checklist or even 30-day challenge. I think that would probably sell even better. People do love challenges, and you can have all of these different things in there. You can have the plan, you can have the checklist, you can have the challenge, you can kind of put all of these things together. But this is one just basic example how you would do that. Another thing, what you can do is you can find the biggest pain point. So this is a little bit different because it's not the biggest problem, but it's the biggest pain point, meaning things that basically annoy you the most. So for example, let's say we have graphics for Instagram. This is something that you are thinking of creating as your digital product. So I think for most of the people, when it comes to Instagram, the biggest problem in general is maybe having those conversions or creating content. That takes the most time and it's the hardest to actually get people to convert. But for a lot of people, that actually might be even an enjoyable part. For a lot of people, what really is annoying to actually sit there and create all of these different designs and all of that. And by creating these graphic templates, you make it 10 times, if not 100 times easier to do that. So you are solving the biggest pain. So it's not always about the biggest problem. Sometimes you need to find what is the biggest pain because people are going to be even easier to convert. Now, a couple of things what your digital product really should be. So as I said, first of all, the product has to be a solution. If there is a problem, well, there has to be a problem. What it also can be, if it's not necessarily a solution, because that's not always going to be the case, it can also just better someone's life. So perhaps there isn't necessarily a problem that someone is facing that they have no solution whatsoever for it, but perhaps you have just a tiny bit better solution. So that can work as well. Obviously, it's better to have a solution that doesn't exist, but if you have a little bit better, something that's going to help them out a little bit, that can be an option as well. Also, a couple of very important things to keep in mind that not everyone does when they create digital products. You want to first of all make it very easy to apply. It has to be an easy application. It has to be actionable. So a lot of times people might create these digital products that solve the problem, but at the same time, they might be too complex. And people are going to be confused and they will not actually convert. So if you want to get high conversions, you have to make it a no-brainer, such as you saw the example I made before, Instagram graphics. If I take that and I just put in my own words, my own pictures, it's very easy. It's no-brainer. I don't even need to really explain the product. But let's say if I create something like email templates, right, that you need to send out to your audience, If I don't quite explain exactly, or I have just the email templates and that's it, but I don't explain when, what needs to be sent, what are the different triggers, what are all of these different things, then people are going to be confused. They will not know how to actually apply it, and it's not really going to be quite actionable, and you're not going to get as good conversions. Another massive thing is you want to have a clear return on investment from your digital product. And I know this is not always going to be possible. Again, if you take an example such as, let's say, Instagram graphics, then obviously you don't quite have direct return on investment, because this kind of just saves you a lot of time, which is great as well, but it's a little bit hard to say how much these Instagram graphics actually increased my sales, or how much more traffic I gained, or things like that. It's a little bit hard to measure, so you want to find something that is easy to measure. For example, again, if we talk about email templates, if you are selling email templates, sequences that people can apply, so they just take them in, they just put them in their software, and these emails are going to be sent out to their customers, they can see and they can measure exactly how much more money they made from those sequences. It's going to show exactly through the email marketing software how many more sales were generated through the emails. And this is going to make it a lot easier to sell if you can even, perhaps you can tell your customers that, hey, on average, when someone takes these templates, they generate this and this amount of new sales, or they increase their conversions by this and this. So if they know that they apply your email sequences and they are going to generate additional, let's say $1,000, then paying $100 for your email templates doesn't seem like that big of an investment. I will leave links for everything that I mentioned. If I mention some softwares or some resources, I do have some special discounts and bonuses and whatnot, so check out the description. Also on my website, I am going to create a page where I have all of the different resources listed out and additional things that I don't even mention in this video, so definitely check that out. Also, every single week I give out one of my courses completely for free, so just smash the thumbs up button and leave a comment to enter the competition. Oh, and by the way, I recently launched my Instagram account with quick and actionable growth hacks, so definitely check that out as well. I will leave a link for that also. Next very important thing is you want to have some sort of unique value proposition. So basically, how does your product stand out from all of the other products? Too many times I see people seeing a product that is successful and pretty much creating exactly same product and just trying to compete with that. And one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to be in what's called the red ocean. If you don't know what it means, it's basically you don't want to compete on price, because at the end of the day, everyone's going to lose if you're just competing on price. You don't want to drop your price lower and lower and lower, because then someone else is going to come in and they will lower their price more than yours, and you're not going to win. What you need to focus on, you need to create your digital product in a way that it actually stands out and is better than all of the other ones. So basically you want to create either a better version, or you want to create something that is somehow unique from everyone else. And if you can't come up with any way how to create something unique, then just have it better in a way that if let's say you're doing graphic templates or something like that, or you're doing workbooks, for example, just have more of that. Have more graphic templates, have more pages in your workbook or your ebook or whatever it is. If you are doing an informational product, then just have more information, have more actionable information perhaps. Maybe other people, they're just giving examples and you are actually giving steps how people can apply what you are telling them to do. The next very important thing is that you want to have multiple products. When you're creating digital products, I think really the success, especially with digital products, this is the case, I think. If you want to succeed, the key is to have multiple products, and this is the key to success because you can actually create a funnel and you can sell your products through the funnel. It is much easier to upsell, downsell, cross-sell, whatever it is, your products to someone who has already made the first purchase rather than just finding a new cold audience. It's much harder to convert that cold audience rather than someone that purchased from you, and especially if they are already very happy with the first purchase, it's going to be much easier to generate more revenue from that customer rather than acquiring a completely new customer. The only thing, of course, is that when you are going to create these different products, the key here as well is that they actually all have to go together. So it doesn't really make sense if you are selling completely different products that don't go hand in hand. You want to make them as close as possible. If you have one big digital product that you want to create, I would say divide that product into different pieces so you can sell those pieces separately. And I'm not saying you can just sell this one big digital product. I would say divide it into different pieces and you can sell that as a bundle, and then basically you can, if you want even, you can give out some sort of discount for people that buy everything together in one big bundle. But what you also have to understand is that not everyone wants all of these different pieces. So perhaps some people would want to buy this one specific piece of your digital product, but they don't care for everything else. And they're not going to invest, let's say, $100 to buy this one big digital product, but they would definitely spend $20 on just buying, or $30 on just buying this one piece. So an example of this would be, let's say you are selling wedding graphics, and this is something that is actually very, very popular. So let's say you have a product that is a checklist. You also have a product that is invites to invite other people to weddings. And then let's say you have the different graphics that go into weddings, such as graphics for the posters, graphics for the tables, all of these different things. So you can have one big product that you are selling, but also not everyone might want that product. So you can start out, if someone is just looking for, let's say, a checklist first or the invite graphic, they might purchase that. And then you can upsell them those other products, because once they got that, they are pretty likely to get the other stuff as well, especially because in terms of this example, I think everyone wants them to have them in same type of design. So you don't want to get the different designs for all of these graphics. So it's going to be pretty easy to be upselling additional things. So now if you don't want to do all of this, or even if you do but you want to scale this a little bit more, you can always outsource creating your digital products. So you can definitely find some either cheap freelancers, or you can find some companies. There are some companies, again, I will leave some of the useful links of what you can do, but there are some companies that specifically create digital products, so it can make sense to work with them as well. I might actually share my team with other people, so do check out if there is a link in the description. I might create a service where I'm sharing my team, because I did put in a lot of time training people and creating systems and all of that kind of stuff, so why not to share it with other people? And another thing as well, a little hack: if you don't want to invest as much money, you do need to find someone who has vast knowledge in the subject. So you can also just find people to collaborate with. So basically have an agreement that they are going to do specific things, and then basically you are just going to package them and you're going to sell them and so on and so forth. And then you're just going to have a revenue split between the two of you, or however many people there are. A little bit of a downside for that is obviously that you will need to split the revenue. So if you just invest some money, then until the end of the day, as long as you're selling that product, you will have 100% profits from that. So do keep that in mind. So when it comes to the different tools that you can use to create your digital products, first of all, Canva is one of my favorite tools. Even though I love Photoshop and all of that, Canva just makes it so simple. And as you can see here, you do have a bunch of different templates that you can choose from. One thing is, you keep in mind that you can't just take Canva templates and sell them. and you can just maybe adjust the design a little bit. The design has to be changed drastically if you're planning to sell it. But whether you're planning to sell the graphic templates or you are going to sell something else like an ebook or workbook or whatever it is, you can definitely use Canva for all of these things. I absolutely love it. And another cool thing as well with Canva is that once you create your design, whatever it is, let's say like here we have an Instagram graphic. This one is actually really nice. So you have this button right here, the share button, and I'm not logged into this account, but the cool thing here is once you share that Canva design with the link, then people can just open that link in their own Canva account and edit it there, right there and then. And that makes it just very, very easy. I'm not going to go too deep into all of the different tools. I will leave again all of the links of all of my recommendations in the description, so check those out, and also on my website as well. I hope you find this video useful. Do let me know if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer as many of those as I can. And check out all of the other videos I have on digital products. There's a bunch of very, very useful stuff, from the different ideas, the different types of digital products, so on and so forth. If you found this video useful, make sure to smash the thumbs up button. Make sure to also check out my Instagram for quick and actionable growth hacks. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, put on those notifications. Stay awesome, and I'll see you soon.